Shoot! Oh, look at this. Oh no! It's crazy down here. No! No! Oh no! Look at the cops!
Hey, you're quiet. Oh, wait, is this... Get the shots in the car.
Yo, but I'm telling you, this he's trying to charge us. You better hit him with the car. I don't care, man. I'm not getting jumped for nothing. Just to see this. Oh, look at this.
Hasn't done any looting, has it?
Look at they burning the house, please.
Oh, how come?
Why everything is closed?
So it's 11, 12 o'clock.
Nah, like the stores.
It closed anyways.
That's probably something good to follow, bud.
Close the window?
Look at this one.
Yeah.
What are they smashing?
I don't know.
Look at them. With the gun. Look at them. These guys are crazy.
Yeah, take a shot of this.
Look at the open sign. They open sign. That's why they're running on there. They open sign. They open sign, but look at that.
Where'd they open?
Look, you see? Everybody there. Robbie Levi's.
His friend said he wanted to light the candles in his memory. He said that the police officers up here are killers with badges. That was how he characterized it. Many of the people here are very upset with the police. We had a number of community leaders out here trying to calm them and make them understand that the violence is not helping anything. So your 10-10 wins on Amsterdam Avenue.
And there's a new allegation sweeping the neighborhood.
The crowd at the corner of 172nd Street and on an amount of blood and bristles. Two police officers were blocking the scene. One told me he fell. He was throwing bottles. Here's a photo tells a different story. He says Doug Aborto, Pacheco, and another man were throwing objects from the roof, and officers went after him. They went up the stairs and grabbed Pacheco. He was screaming, no, please, no. Okay, and in Spanish, he told him, he told him in English, and those guys didn't hear nothing. Okay, they just...
Different judgment at this stage. The city is polishing its image. Police have swept the streets with prostitutes each night. Workmen are trying to repair some of the potholes at a record rate. Security guards have politely encouraged the homeless folks to set up camp in the Madison Square Garden.
On the streets.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going in again.
They're going in again. slow, bud.
They going okay?
Oh, this is...
Where they going?
Down the lights and everything here. God, it's down wires here. At a bank that we put the crawling. We look calm down by 162 and that.
So, make a great intro also.
Welcome to New York.
Yeah, now this looks... I think we'll just...
It's Broadway.
Yeah,
Look at all these cars. Oh, what happened
They
since
got
we
that
left?
going in jail. Look at that guy there in jail. Oh, man. You guys are crazy out here, man. Look at the girl. They're in jail. What? Look at the guy.
and this was all fine.
Smashed the windows on the bank.
Oh,
Which one? I can't...
Right there,
Look.
Chase.
oh, no. Look at that one there. Oh, the sneaker shots. Oh, the sneaker shot. They got, oh, look at the Chinito. He's in jail, bro. Oh, no. Look at that place there. No.
Where?
No. No. Turn back, man. Don't flash to this black boy. They start shooting at us.
Two cars.
Oh no, this guy's crazy. Turn through here, boy. This is only cops. They going to indictment now, boy.
Riot squad to Dykeman.
You see they going to
Wait till you get uptown, you guys. This is nothing.
Look, they're going to the highway. You see, man?
You want to get out?
Happy here. Hello.
That shit was unnecessary.
Duck down.
It's on fire.
The whole street.
And this is Broadway.
Yeah.
Those are shots.
Yep.
You shouldn't go that way. I wonder what they're shooting at. Oh, we got this guy's throwing rock. Dutchman.
Yeah, boy. That's what's the funny thing. They kill you, nigga, man.
Yeah, fire department got the flames out already.
In the investigation of the police shooting death,
However, overnight construction continues to shut down the northern tube at the outbound Lincoln Tunnel, the Holland Tunnel with only a single lane available in each direction. Also watch out for construction tying up 2 lanes both in and outbound on the upper level of the George Washington Bridge. Alternate side of the street parking rules will be in effect today. Checking the Winds Transit desk, there are no reported delays at the airports or on the trains. Another update in 10 minutes. I'm Kathy Volsky on 1010 Winds.
Wednesday news time 1:32. Arthur Seal has entered a not guilty plea to a charge of felony murder in the kidnapping of Exxon executive Sidney Riso. Seal's wife Irene was also in court. They're in Star School, Montana.
This guy's poor truck. His businesses. His vehicles.
Yeah.
There was a fire. Threw a bomb through the window. That's what the call was. This one's intact.
No.
Tested one of these two. Through this way. No, that's 41st Precinct.
help. They'll give you a free consultation at home, office, or at the hospital. Their contingency fee arrangement means you don't...
Police come out.
Yeah, they busted the windows out of the van. It's one of our vans too. Is it 3-4 or 2-4?
One person is dead and 10 others, including 3 police officers, are injured following disturbances in a mostly Hispanic neighborhood of New York City where police fatally shot a man last Friday. Some participants in a protest march against police brutality peeling off to start street fires of cars and trash, throwing bottles off rooftops and even firing shots at police. The dead man fell from a rooftop after running from police in a bottle-throwing incident. Neighborhood residents say the man who police killed last week was unarmed and was beaten before he was shot.
Good evening. Mayor Dinkins, Cardinal O'Connor, and civic leaders have been in the streets of Washington Heights all afternoon trying to keep things calm and head off another possible night of violence there.
It's a repeat of last night, and the sun hasn't even gone down. 22 people were injured in that melee. Police, city officials, and everyone are calling for peace here in what many are calling a war zone.
The crowds have been roaming through the streets, pillaging, burning, ripping stores open, the whole bit.
What are you going to do?
What can I do?
Now, Jeff Weiser has been following efforts to keep the peace. Right now, he's in a helicopter looking down at the problems going on throughout this 70-block area. Jeff?
That's right, Penny. Perhaps the mayor's call for calm have paid off. Perhaps they have not. We are about 1,000 feet above the Washington Heights area. And if we could take a look down at the neighborhood that we're in, Jay, let's cruise down over there. That's 171st Street and St. Nicholas Avenue. People are gathered outside of Rivera Funeral Home, but it is hard to say exactly what they're doing. It seems like they're simply milling around. But for the most part, as we've been flying above the neighborhood for about an hour now, the streets seem relatively calm. The burning cars of last night have been extinguished, but there is still a visible police presence. And many others are hard at work trying to keep the calm. It's been a day of calls for calm from community, religious, and political leaders. All of them came together at a public meeting this afternoon at PS 28 in the Washington Heights neighborhood. Earlier at a City Hall news conference, Mayor Dinkins said the disturbances are especially troubling.
Last night, the violence that erupted was absolutely unacceptable. Let me be very, very clear. It must stop, and it will stop.
The mayor and John Cardinal O'Connor made a joint appearance in the predominantly Catholic Latino neighborhood. The Cardinal told the crowd he believes the mayor's pledge to oversee a proper investigation of the shooting of Jose Garcia.
I want to tell you that I trust the mayor's word absolutely and unconditionally, that he will personally see this through.
But as of now, authorities cannot confirm reports about Officer Michael O'Keefe, who allegedly shot Garcia during a struggle in the lobby of 505 West 162nd Street, the incident Friday night that touched off these disturbances.
There have been published reports that there were allegations concerning him as to his activities, allegedly shaking down drug dealers, beating people up. What can you tell us about those allegations?
I think you're referring to an allegation that something happened 20 minutes or so before the incident. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, we have no information on that. We've looked into it. We have been unable to uncover any information in that regard, but we've heard that allegation.
Well, we're back live now in Washington Heights, about 1,000 feet above, and it seems like the crowd has gotten bigger. That's a crowd at 171st Street and St. Nicholas Avenue. Now, in addition to the police presence on the ground, we have some company up here. There are other police helicopters flying above this area. Reporting live from above Washington Heights, this is Jeff Weiser, Fox News. Let's go back to the studio.
Thank you very much, Jeff. And Pablo Guzman is just back from Gracie Mansion, where the mayor had one of many meetings today on Washington Heights. Here's his report.
Following the arrival at Gracie Mansion of Commissioner Lee Brown and other top police brass, Congressman Charles Rangel, and deputy mayors from the Dinkins cabinet, the family of Jose Garcia was brought to the mayor's official residence. Joined by Cardinal O'Connor and the Consul General of the Dominican Republic, the reason for the hastily called gathering was clear: to put out a call for calm. First, from Garcia's aunt, Rosaura Oliveras.
Que no queremos la violencia, que solo queremos justicia, que de la violencia lo que trae violencia.
We don't want violence, she said. We only want justice. Violence only brings more violence. And then a plea from the Cardinal.
I am absolutely convinced that the mayor will do everything within his power to bring about justice and to assure that there is an unfettered investigation. The church will assist in any way.
Police officials left after briefing the mayor and avoided the media by another exit. It remained for Dinkins to say the Manhattan DA had a grand jury already in session. He was asked about a tactic to deal with potential future trouble.
In your discussions with the police commissioner, was a curfew discussed as a possible option?
Oh, no. There was no discussion of curfew.
Pablo Guzman, Fox News.
We are keeping an eye on this situation. If there are any new developments on this story, of course, we'll go back to the scene later on in this broadcast.
Disturbance sparked by a police shooting. comes at a time when the city is trying to keep its problems out of the spotlight. CNN's Charles Feldman explains.
This is not the picture of New York City that its mayor wants the world to see, with the Democratic convention beginning here next week. A violent street demonstration in the mostly Hispanic Washington Heights section of northern Manhattan that jolted the early morning hours Tuesday and helped to build tension that was palpable even after the sun came up. By daylight, city officials huddled to decide how to defuse the situation, while some 300 demonstrators marched on a police precinct demanding justice. The early morning disturbance, where one person died, some abandoned buildings burned, and 28 people were arrested, as well as the late afternoon demonstration, were the result of a shooting death of an area resident last Friday by a police officer. 23-year-old Jose Garcia was allegedly shot by Officer Michael O'Keefe, who officials say claims Garcia was armed. Some apparent eyewitnesses say Garcia was unarmed. Mayor David Dinkins visited the neighborhood after making a televised appeal for calm.
Perhaps if the government did not care, one could understand the neighborhood's frustration, but this government does care, and I care.
Community activists like the Reverend Al Sharpton also tried to get things under control, although Sharpton says things must change.
I think that the only way you have a lasting peace is we have to start making examples out of bad cops. All cops are not bad.
Those who attended the afternoon protest blamed police, the political system, and in one case, the liberal ideology of the Democratic Party.
And the liberal Democrats have failed this community for the last 20 years. They are responsible for all the socioeconomic of the situation.
Vice President Quayle, visiting the city on a campaign stop, commented on the disturbance.
Violence came to New York City last night, and once again it must be said. Whatever the possible provocation, violence is never an answer, and its perpetrators must be held accountable.
City officials promise a massive investigation into the shooting of Jose Garcia, but some residents here say they don't trust any insiders and are calling for an independent prosecutor. Charles Feldman, CNN, New York.
If you'd like to know more, please write to us or call the number on your screen, or even better yet, come by and give us a visit.
To make ours get by, man, we got to let our children go. We got to feed our children too. You know what I'm saying?
Violence is the only law that is followed. There's absolutely no conception of right or wrong.
The money travels from the suburbs to New York's Washington Heights, and then to a little-known town in the Dominican Republic. You are about to experience the cocaine commute.
Corners in a triangle of drugs, money, and death. The cocaine commute. Here now is WNBC News reporter David Diaz.
It's Friday night, the George Washington Bridge. Thousands of cars heading into New York City. Some of them perhaps to go to the theater, some maybe for dinner, but a lot of them for one simple reason: to buy drugs in Washington Heights.
Located near Manhattan's northern tip, Washington Heights is heavily populated by Caribbean and Central American immigrants, the vast majority from the Dominican Republic. But it's not the language or culture of the people that made Bob and Tom want to go there as often as they could.
I used to go from my apartment, cop drugs, and be back within 35 minutes.
Now recovering drug addicts, Bob and Tom agreed to tell us about their cocaine commute if we agreed not to reveal their identities. They used to make the trip several times a week to buy up to 30 vials of crack at a time.
It's the road to Cracktown. Any one of these entrances along this whole street here, you can buy drugs, especially at nighttime. You can just walk in there and buy drugs.
Drug busts in the area reveal an interesting pattern. The buyers aren't coming from New York City. They're coming from the suburbs, and overwhelmingly from New Jersey. A quick drive across the George Washington Bridge and almost any corner is an open market for crack and cocaine.
This corner right here, the supermarket on the corner of Audubon and 174th, was a main cop spot for us. And it was a crew of Dominican kids. As Tom said, you know, we knew them. They knew us. If I was going to cop here now, I'd definitely take off my sunglasses, put them down, because I want eye contact. These guys up on the corner here, they're all hanging out. They're they're almost assuredly selling. The guy's looking at me right now in the P cab.
That's the same guy that I used to buy off of 2.5 years ago.
And he just made enough eye contact with me right now where if Tom slowed down and I went like this, he would have gone and got me the crack.
From here, just seeing the bridge, it's just like that's your goal. You just want to get to that bridge as quickly as possible because you know that once you're onto that bridge, you're safe.
Easy in, easy out. You don't have to go, as they say, into the city. Just cross the bridge, make your buy, run right back out. The Jersey White Boys, as we call them.
And not only do they return with drugs, they also bring back problems, not immediately obvious among the manicured lawns of their peaceful towns, where many move to escape the problems of the city.
The suburbanite New Jersey kid that comes over here is destroying his family. Because he's addicted and he's ripping them off, and he starts by selling off, you know, mom's silverware, and pretty soon it's mom's jewelry, dad's wallet gets picked, and then it becomes more and more serious and more progressive.
As they drop their dollars behind in Washington Heights, the cocaine commuters fuel the neighborhood's most lucrative and most violent industry.
The commuter trade in Washington Heights over the last 5 years, I would say, accounts roughly for at least half of the drug trafficking that goes on up there.
Eric Pomerantz has one mission: to put major drug dealers behind bars. As chief counsel to New York City's special narcotics prosecutor, Pomerantz has seen drug operations that bring in more than $2 million a day. And many of the people who run them are high school dropouts.
Many very successful businesmen don't have a lot of formal education. That's not a requirement. Its requirement is a lot of common sense and the ability to work hard. And believe me, they work hard at it.
Authorities can't even begin to estimate just how many millions are changing hands every day. But however you add it up, the figures are staggering. According to police officials, one operation in this building alone brought in $30 million in a 6-month stretch. And 3 Dominican gangs operating along this block allegedly used this building and several Amsterdam Avenue bodegas for a drug enterprise bringing in $50 million a year. That's just one operation among who knows how many. Their philosophy summed up by this Washington Heights insider.
It's called American Dream. We got to make money too, you know what I'm saying? The motherfucking government ain't giving us nothing, you know what I'm saying? They not trying to put nothing in our pockets, you know what I'm saying? So we got to do what we got to do to make ours get by, man. We got to let our children go. We got to feed our children too, you know what I'm saying?
But the overwhelming majority of Dominican immigrants here, people like Larry Antigua, are just trying to do what their ancestors did, work hard and make a better life for their children.
Not like when I first came here, making $37 a week, paying $15 for a room with food.
31 years after Antigua came to this country, he's running a successful liquor store.
If you want to make it in America, you can make it. Because this is a country of full opportunity. Nice day, yeah? We have a lot of hard-working people in this neighborhood, lots of them. You see all these bodegas, and everything else, majority owned by Dominican that came here to work.
It hurts Antigua to see kids from his homeland lured into the drug trade. They could just as easily be his own children. But what hurts most is helplessly watching his beloved Washington Heights deteriorate, to the point where residents are forced to take drastic measures.
This is a 9mm gun with 16 shots. It's like you saw that commercial with the Indian when he saw what happened to my land, you know. They started to cry. That's exactly how I feel. I love Washington Heights. I love it. I love the people of Washington Heights. But we need a change. We do.
Like so many poor immigrants before them, honest, hardworking Dominicans regularly send money back to their homeland to help out even poorer relatives. It's one reason you see so many money transfer agencies in Washington Heights. But authorities say these storefronts are in another, less honorable business, moving illicit money earned by drug dealers. Millions of drug dollars originating in the pockets of suburban buyers, passing through the hands of Washington Heights dealers, and winding up in the Dominican Republic. Estimates put that amount at close to $300 million a year. According to a ranking official of the Drug Enforcement Administration, what it all really amounts to is a white powder foreign aid program. We'll take you to where so many of the foot soldiers of that operation come from and to where so much of the money goes when we come back after this.
The Cocaine Commute. Next stop, the Dominican Republic.
Do you know anybody that use drugs? Yeah. You ever did it? No, I never ever touched it, never. Some people say never. When they come to a spot that people be pressuring you into doing it, you do it. Not me, I never go near it because I want to be a basketball player like Michael Jordan. So I never. Would you? No, because I want to be a baseball player like Gary Shortberg. And drugs mess up your mind. And you can't be what you want to be when you grow up.
Starting today, you can serve seafood like this at home.
Now I can.
Fabulous seafood, seasoned.
From the suburbs of New York City to the streets of Washington Heights, the money trail ultimately leads to a small Caribbean nation 1,400 miles away, the Dominican Republic. And even more specifically, to a tiny town in the country's north-central plain, San Francisco de Macorís. Almost 2/3 of the big-time drug dealers busted in Washington Heights come from this one place. In most respects, San Francisco de Macorís is like any other Dominican town. A plaza at the center where social life and commerce come together. Shantytown neighborhoods where few ever come close to the average per capita income of $680 a year. But there are things about San Francisco de Macorís that catch a visitor's attention in a hurry, that tell you this place is different. Locals have a name for the people who are making discos like this part of the landscape. The same people whose dollars are building fancy homes, some fortified with razor wire, buying huge satellite dishes, and paying for expensive cars sold in this once desolate town. The nouveau riche are called Dominican Yorks, Dominicans who've returned from New York with big money.
Some people got it legally by working, owning a grocery store, for example.
But the straightforward admit there's another, more prevalent source.
Yeah, sure, many of those who come from there made it from drugs.
I ask him how he knows that.
Based on how long they were there. Because you know that if someone goes there today and comes back 2 or 3 months later with a lot of money, you know they found it somehow. And not legally.
Indeed, one local official estimates that the drug money accounts for as much as 60% of the town's economy. And the fact is, those who've plied the drug trade and now live back here in splendor have beaten the system.
They are getting away with drug dealing. We have fugitives that are in these towns that they refuse to extradite because we don't have a treaty.
Congressman Charles Rangel represents New York's Washington Heights section. He's frustrated with what he sees as inaction on the part of the Dominican government.
They don't want to be perceived as giving safe haven to notorious drug traffickers, and they are. They can go back with $100,000, and they're billionaires compared to the standards here in the States.
Although San Francisco de Macorís is ostensibly an embarrassment to the Dominican government, officials claim their hands are tied by lack of proof as to who owns what and by a limited extradition treaty. The government's explanations are regularly challenged by Miguel Velázquez Minority, a crusading newspaper editor in Santo Domingo. He says the government officials' hands are tied all right with ribbons made from dollar bills. You're saying that the people who are the most corrupt are not the people from San Francisco de Macorís, the poor people who went to New York and made those fortunes selling drugs. You're saying the really corrupt people are the people who wear shirts and ties?
Exactamente.
In his book, Velázquez Minority explains that starting in the late 1970s, the Dominican Republic began evolving into the perfect bridge for shipping drugs straight from the cartels of Colombia to the United States. And in the process, his country has turned into the Caribbean's principal money laundering center. In the bigger picture, this outspoken editor says the town of San Francisco de Macorís, which he calls Villa Drugs, is small potatoes.
The phenomenon of San Francisco de Macorís is not the most serious problem. The most serious one is the white-collar crime involved.
Velázquez Minority charges the tentacles of this dirty money even reach into the country's executive branch, as well as the 2 leading political parties.
What did American and Dominican officials here have to say about all these matters? Well, our request for an interview with the American ambassador was denied.